Hello, once again, welcome to my channel. It's been nice to have you on this educational adventure with me, and I want to appreciate you all for watching, for liking, and subscribing. In the last episode, we looked at points to watch out for in the physical development of children 12 months to 24 months, that's 1 to 2 years. And today we'll be looking at some red flags in the development of these children. And before I proceed, I'll just like to make a clarification that red flags does not mean there's something wrong with the child. It's just a warning point, a warning sign, or a danger sign that something needs to be done concerning a particular developmental milestone in the life of that child. And today, like I said, we'll be looking at the red flags to watch for in the developmental milestones of children 1 to 12 months. And the first one that I want to talk about is when a child cannot walk, even by 18 months. It is expected that a child should be able to walk properly by 18 months. And peradventure, a child fails to walk at this particular age, it's important that such a child should see a specialist on time before things get out of hand. That's one of the importance of observing a red flag in a child. And the next thing to note is the child is walking quite all right, but the child is tiptoeing. The child has failed to have a toe heel pattern, does not walk properly, putting the feet on the floor. It's a source of concern, it's a red flag. So when we see the children that are tiptoeing, it's not proper for them to be walking exclusively on their toes. So it's also a red flag and a source of concern. And in addition to this, we can just summarize everything to mean that the walking of that child is not coordinated. Whether the child is walking, is not steady walking, is probably falling and standing at the same time, it's a red flag and it's a source of concern. Another thing we need to watch out for, by this age, a child should be able to point. Yes, pointing is very important. Child should be able to point to express his or herself, like mommy see, daddy see. But when a child at this age fails to do this, or cannot do this, or doesn't do this, then it's also a red flag and a source of concern as well. To add to this point, when a child loses certain skills he or she has acquired previously, suddenly the child loses such skill at this age. Peradventure, the child has been scribbling and suddenly the child cannot scribble again, or the child was walking and suddenly the child cannot walk again. It's a red flag, and it's such things usually happen a lot even at this age group. So as parents, as caregivers, we need to be watchful and observant of the skills our children have acquired, and suddenly they are not performing such skill. It's a source of concern and it's a red flag. Also, children at this age are supposed to be inquisitive. They are supposed to want to reach out, search for things. Now, as a parent or a caregiver, you collected a toy from your child. You hid the toy right in front of the child, and the child is not bothered even to search or to even look or to make an attempt to find out, to collect that toy where you kept it. It's a source of concern, because at this age they are supposed to be inquisitive, they're supposed to be very active. You collect something from them, they want to follow up by collecting from you or looking for where you have kept it. And if a child is not doing this, it's a source of concern that needs to be looked at. And in addition to this, when a child fails to copy action, this age group, they learn by watching and by imitating, by copying actions when they are in the music class or in the dance class, for instance, they imitate the action of the teacher. Most of the things they are taught at this period, they involve lots of action, lots of copying. When they are outside having sports or games time, they are supposed to imitate actions. Peradventure, there's a child in the class that you are demonstrating a particular thing and the others are doing it quite well and the child fails to do it, it's a source of concern, it's a red flag. We'll notice that most of the songs that the children they learn, even at this age, involves action. So you are teaching body parts, for instance, and you are touching, you are demonstrating the parts of the body. All the children are doing it, and there's a particular child that is not even responding, is not touching, is not copying the action that is being done. It's a red flag and needs to be looked at seriously and taken into consideration. Also, and we'll use this point even to wrap it all up, when a child is unable to scribble, at this age it's the beginning of their writing skills. So if a child is unable to scribble or even hold a crayon or a pencil in his or her hand, it's a source of concern, because this is where the writing skills are developed. So we need to pay proper attention. So many things might be responsible, and when it is noted, the specialists will be able to determine what exactly is responsible. The major work of the parents or the caregiver of the educator is just to find out and notice and report that there's a red flag, there's a point that needs to be looked into. It's not for the teacher to prefer a solution. So at this point, we'll come to the end of today's episode. That's the red flags to watch out for in developmental milestones of children 12 to 24 months. And I hope you've learned one or two things. And make sure you like. If you fail to like, YouTube might just remove our video from its list of recommended videos, and by so doing, we'll be depriving others of benefiting from the content. If this is your first time of watching and you are yet to subscribe, please do subscribe, as well as share with friends. And when you are subscribing, subscribe and with your notification button on, so that you'll be able to receive notification when we drop a new episode. And for all those that have encouraged me with their comments, I appreciate you all. Thank you very much, and thanks for watching.